hij... Even kijken.
Denise. En dat is Carol.
Oké, maar het is... Even kijken.
Goed, Polak.
Oh, but I don't see... okay. I don't see Martin.
Hello there, Marius. I'm in.
Oh, you're in, but I don't see you.
I'm in, but I'm in as an attendee, not a presenter. I don't know if someone can change those settings.
Yes, Carol. Hi, Carol. Can you make Martin presenter also?
Just a moment, please.
Some technical. Okay. Or Stein, can you make him a presenter, a co-host?
Yes, he is now a panelist.
Oh. Okay, but I see Jana. Who is Jana?
Hello.
Hi, Jana. Hello.
I'm a marketing executive for Dell EMC.
Jana is de baas hier, dus...
Okay, sorry. No, because I still don't see the name Martin on it. So
I am now in, if you can hear me, but I can't start my video because the host has stopped it.
Oh. Stein, can you please make him also co-host?
He's a co-host now.
Excellent. Hello.
Martin, I see you.
Hello, everybody.
I see you, but it's strange. I don't see your name on this. I look for your name, but I can't see. Carol, Jana, Stein.
Normally you can change it now since you're co-host.
Okay. But it doesn't matter actually too much. But it's good that you are in, Martin, because I was worried a little bit.
I will rename it to Martin Edwards.
Yeah, because I didn't know, Martin, that you didn't have the invite in your inbox, so it was a little bit.
I don't for the one that's later on this week as well.
Okay, I will send you after this webinar. Okay.
Fantastic.
Good.
Thank you very much, Martin, for helping us out here.
Not a problem at all. Marius, are you wanting me to run the presentation again, passing
like last time?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's more easy. So if you present the slides, because I have the same slides like you, I didn't change anything.
Cool.
So let's think. How was it? I can go myself to the next slide on your screen.
So I will give you the ability to remote control, Marius.
Yes. Do I need to do something now?
You now have the ability to do so.
Let's see. So if I go now to the next slide.
Yeah, if you click on the slide first, you should then be able to use your forward back button.
I just put it now. Yes, to see the agenda, yeah?
Yeah.
And I go back.
Perfect.
Okay.
Excellent. I'm just going to bring up a couple of screens on my machine if you allow me to. Oh, right. So I'm just going to bring up my participant list.
Yeah.
And the chat window just in case.
So I don't have to do anything now.
No, just click on the screen and then you have, so whenever you click on the screen first.
Yeah.
Not yet, because I haven't finished. Right, I take control back. I just make sure I've got all of the additional windows on my other screen. We're not giving the people chat ability. So if they have questions, it's in the question and answer.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's good. Excellent. So if I now go back, oh, that's going forwards. Okay. You can now, I will now not touch my mouse until I'm needed.
And that means that when you go to the after the slide 6, when it's coming to 7, you're going to take it over.
Yeah, if after if after that or on that slide, if
Yeah.
you stop with your mouse, I will click on the screen, take control back. I will do
Yeah.
my piece. I
Yes.
will then come back to the presentation. All
Yeah.
you need to do is click the presentation. You will have control again.
Yeah.
And you can go through the rest of the.
Okay. Okay. So that means that when I finish the slide 6 and we come to slide 7, I don't have to do anything. You just take the control.
Yeah, I will take the control.
Okay. Okay, it's good. It's good. I don't know, from Tech Data, is it something there you want to add? I know that, Carol, you're going to do the intro?
Yes, if possible. I'm not sure. Should I take over the screen, or do you prefer that I do not touch the screen anymore?
But what do you want to?
Well, I just
slides
have
or-
a welcome slide and a housekeeping slide. That's all.
Oh, I will stop sharing then, and I will start
Yeah.
sharing once you've done yours, Carl.
Okay, good.
Yes. Okay.
Perfect.
Perfect. Perfect. It was a little bit stressed. Very, very busy today because yesterday was. We didn't work yesterday, so everything came up in the email. So I was hoping this morning to make some steps, but I couldn't. It's too busy.
I know the feeling. I know the feeling.
Okay. I don't know. I just I sent also a reminder on LinkedIn for this webinar. So I don't know. Let's hope that the people will show up.
Okay.
I don't know how many attendees we had, actually registration. I have to look to the email.
Okay, let's wait for this. We have another 4 minutes before the people. Do you see the welcome screen?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna put you on mute.
Okay, I'll mute myself.
Okay. And we talk to each other around 2 o'clock then. Okay. Good afternoon. I see that people are still joining, so if you don't mind, we will wait another 2 minutes and then kick off with this session. Thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Karel Poepaert. I'm Business Development Manager for Dell EMC at Big Data. Welcome to our webinar. Today we will talk about a new offering from Dell EMC, the Dell EMC Power Protect Backup Services. And I have two guests for you. We have Marius from Dell EMC and Martin. But I will leave Marius and Marius to present themselves as they speak. First of all, let me do some housekeeping. So all lines are on mute. However, feel free to use the questions and answers. If you would like to raise a question, we will monitor it and I will warn the speakers or interfere and see if we can answer your question during the session. Of course, the session will be recorded, so I hope it doesn't mind for you. Marius, the floor is yours.
Yes, thank you, Karel.
I will stop
First,
sharing.
yes.
Hang on. Voila, there we go.
Let's stop your sharing. And Martin, can you please share the screen? Okay. Yes. Hello, and thank you to everybody for joining this webinar. The subject of this webinar is the introduction of a new as a service solution that we are bringing to our portfolio. We are adding this service to our current portfolio of data protection solutions. This new service is released starting last week. So actually 18 May was the first date that we have introduced this new service. The content of this webinar will be presented in a small part by me and the rest by Martin Edwards. My name is Marius. I'm responsible for the data protection solution in the channel segment for Benelux. Martin Edwards is the technical lead for channel alliances by Druva. Martin, do you want to say anything before we start?
Yeah, thank you everyone for your attendance today. We're looking forward to describing and explaining the new service that Dell is bringing to the market.
Thank you, thank you. Let's see if I can go to the next slide. Okay, I click on it. Yes, here. Let's look at the agenda. The length of the webinar is just 60 minutes, so it's not too long. We hope that in the 60 minutes we'll be able to give you a good impression of this new service. what is the capability of the service, how is this attractive for you to sell it to your customers. Of course, if you are interested as a partner to have a more in-depth session, or you want to have a training session for your sales of a pre-sales team, please reach out to me or to Karel Tech Data, and we'll plan a session for you. What's in the agenda? We'll start in the first minutes. I will tell you why we are expanding our portfolio with this service. Then we're gonna move to the second part, where Martin will try to explain you why is this service special, why it's different than the most of our competitors are putting on the market today. Then we'll have also a short live demo, specifically on the use case Office 365. And then we're gonna move further, and we're gonna look at the licensing models and the bits and bytes of the offerings. And then we're gonna have the chance for the Q&A. I see I go to the next slides. Okay, as I said, we have 1 hour, so I will skip the marketing slides. Normally we have more marketing slides, so we'll keep it very briefly with two slides. The most of you already know that we provide for many years the best-in-class enterprise data protection solutions. With this proven technology, we offer our customer the highest protection for the lowest TCO. If you are moving to the modern, the application landscape is changed very much in the last years. The applications are distributed on-premise, in the private cloud, the hybrid cloud, the public cloud, so everywhere. We as Dell, we want to offer the customers the same level of protection also when it comes to the cloud. This is also the reason that we have chosen to add some more capabilities, for example, to our data domain virtual edition for the cloud. We have increased the capacity to 265. We have built from the ground a new software, like Power Protect Data Manager. We have made the integration for our Cloud Snapshot Manager with the data domain virtual edition in the cloud, so you're gonna keep the lowest TCO. So we have done a lot also for the modern part, but still, I go to the next slide here. Yes. But the last missing piece actually was the protection for our for the SaaS application. So customers are also asking to help them to protect, for example, the Office 365 or Salesforce, or even the endpoints. So we needed also to look how we're gonna to offer something very easy, with the highest security and also with the lowest TCO. So this was actually what we were looking to do. So for this reason, we have chosen to partner with Druva, and we will try to show you today why we make this choice. Go to the next slides. Okay, so before diving in the solution, let's look a little bit of what is this very high level. So it's 100% software as a service. So that means there is no infrastructure needed, no hardware, no software to install and to maintain. So it's a very simple solution. Security is often a concern when customers are looking to move to the cloud. So also for this piece, we needed the best of the best. So Martin will explain you how good this solution is when it comes to security. If you go to the next slides, Martin will try to tell you why this solution is making the difference. Martin?
Absolutely, and thank you very much, Marius, for that introduction. I'm really excited. I work for Druva. I have done so for some time, and I'm really excited to be able to come on to these calls along with Dell regarding the exciting partnership we have made with them. Through Dell, we have provided a software as a service based data protection platform. The way I like to describe it to people is through the Dell Power Protect backup service. Dell is doing for data protection exactly what Netflix did for video consumption. If we all think back to a time before Netflix, when we wanted to watch a movie with our partners, we had to plan in advance for doing that. We had to get in a car and go to a video rental shop, pick a film that was still available for us to rent, take it to the counter, pay our money, and go home, put it into our video cassette recorder, rewind it, and watch that film. We also needed to remember the following day to take that film back out of the machine and take it back to the shop to stop us having to pay for another night's rental. Today, with Netflix, all we need is an hour and a half or 2 hours of our time, and we just sit in front of the sofa, press a button, and we have the whole portfolio of films available to us on demand at the click of a button. That is what a SaaS data protection approach is for the Dell Power Protect backup service. We are providing solutions to business to allow them to protect their data without the need to plan anymore, without the need to manage their video cassette recorders on premise and manage and maintain those to allow them to have data protection. The Power Protect backup service protects 3 main areas of footprint of data that your customers may have. The first is data within SaaS applications already in the cloud, whether that is Microsoft 365, Google Workspace, or Salesforce.com. We have solutions allowing customers to easily protect that data. We're focusing today's session on showing you Microsoft 365. However, if you would like additional sessions, please reach out to Tech Data or Dell to request other sessions where we can focus on other workloads. But we also have the ability to protect data on a customer's endpoint devices, whether that's laptops or desktops, Windows, Mac, or Linux, mobile devices, so phones and tablets that are running Android or iOS. But we also bring to the market with this solution the ability for customers to protect data within their traditional data center, whether that is Windows or Linux file systems, Oracle or SQL from a database perspective, data that resides on NAS devices, as well as the ability to protect virtualized environments like VMware or Hyper-V. All of that, again, with a direct to cloud approach. I will reiterate at this stage, if anyone does have any questions, please do feel free to use the question and answer functionality within the Zoom interface if there is anything that requires any clarity for you. So what is it that the Power Protect backup service is doing? The service is powered by Druva, hence the reason you have me on this call, but it is a 100% Dell solution that they are providing to the market. We take the data, whether it is in SaaS application, endpoints, or hybrid workloads, and we collect and copy that data through to the Power Protect backup service that is natively running in the cloud. Powered by Druva and sitting on Amazon Web Services infrastructure. We take that data from your devices in an efficient manner. We deduplicate data at a block level at source before transmitting that data into the cloud, meaning that we are sending the smallest amount of data between the target device and the storage location. It also means that in the storage location, in the PowerProtect backup service, we have a golden copy of all of the customer's data in the smallest footprint it can possibly be, because it is deduplicating at that block level. That means for a customer can now access the web-based interface and have complete visibility of all of their data across all of their services that they are protecting through the PowerProtect backup service. We are natively built in the cloud. Natively built is very important. There are many competitors in the market that are providing cloud-based protection services. However, the vast majority of those competitors are using the same or similar data or software that they were used to running on premise, and have just installed that on servers in the cloud and are calling it a cloud service. The issue with this approach to the competition is that their service is still always constrained to the amount that that server running in the cloud can do, in the same way that an on-premise solution is constrained by the servers and the storage that you attach to it. The PowerProtect backup service is natively delivered in the cloud, allowing us to use cloud scale. It's a bit like, from the competitor's perspective, me finding 5,000 video cassette recorders and being able to plug those into the cloud and saying that I am delivering Netflix. That is not the case, because I am still restricted to only showing 5,000 videos at any one time. Being natively built in the cloud allows us to grow the service as we see demand, shrink the service down when demand isn't as great. And of course, sitting on the world's biggest supercomputer, Amazon Web Services, means that we can grow to unbelievable scale in just the click of a button, with no worries about how much data we need to protect. But cloud is always a worry for organizations regarding data security. The PowerProtect backup service has been built to be one of the most secure ways of storing your data that a customer can use. Data security has been inbuilt as part of the design of the solution. Every customer has their own protected piece of the cloud for their services. Only the customer has access to the data that is stored within the solution. Dell has no access, Druva has no access, AWS have no access. We use digital envelope encryption to ensure that only relevant people within the organization have the ability to and restore and see data within the service. Taking data for a customer, storing it for as long as a customer needs that data retained for, based on group of users, server type, however the customer wants to retain data, they are choosing that themselves. That gives the PowerProtect backup service the ability to do the first element, which is data protection. The ability to have a secure off-site copy of the data retained for as long as that customer needs, but the ability for that customer to restore that data to wherever they need it to be restored to in the event of disaster is part one. But if I go back to my video rental story, when I rented a video and took it home, the only information I had about the film that I had rented was the label that was stuck to the top of the video cassette. All of the other information regarding that film is still back in the video rental shop because the cover remains in the shop. I get the Blockbusters wrapper around my video cassette. If you look at what you get now with Netflix, when you are looking for a film, you have all of the information available on your screen. And because Netflix has a database running behind it, you can also see other films that your favorite actors have also been in and be able to go off and watch those. You could go to other features of the film, whether it be special features or outtakes. And in reality, the Dell PowerProtect backup service is doing that exact same thing to a customer's data that we are protecting in the cloud. Not only are we backing that data up, but we are indexing and providing feedback back to an organization, helping an organization improve their governance posture. They now have full, complete visibility of exactly what data they have where within their environment. For end user data, we can even utilize compliance where we can search for content of data and alert back to the organization if they have data that contains sensitive data types that they have determined to be a problem for the business. For instance, if they did not want any of their users to have a file that contains more than 500 credit card numbers, we can alert to that business exactly which data exists and where for data that contains that information. If they want to take it further, we could say only show us information or files that have 500 credit card numbers, but only if there is also other qualifying terms like 3 or 4 digit PIN codes or address information also near the credit card number. Customers can pick from a whole host of predefined sensitive data types or can add their own sensitive data through keywords or regular expressions. We also allow organizations to improve the ability for them to provide electronic discovery of data. Because we have all of the data together in one golden pool, it is very easy for us to be like the police in the movies and come out and put blue and white tape around a crime scene if someone has been involved in something that needs legal or HR attention. We can preserve that crime scene of data, making sure that no one messes with the evidence, and allow exposure of that data to legal teams. We can download the data onto media to provide to those legal teams. They can have it electronically. We can even stream that data into e-discovery tools to allow the collection of that data for that user. And that's all of that user's data, whether it's on a physical device or in their OneDrive or Exchange Online account from a SaaS-based application. The next point really is intelligence around data, allowing organizations to fully understand more about their data growth rates, their data change rates. All of that information at the click of a button so that they have good, solid understanding of all of their data. Forensics information, understanding when data turned up, when it left, and being able to roll back the clock very, very easily to air-gapped, immutable backups, because our system, there is no way that any of your historic backup points in time can be affected. So if an organization got hit by malware or ransomware, it's very easy for an organization to go to a point in time before and always be able to recover valid data that before a point of change was made on site. So all in all, providing this service without the need for an organization to install any additional infrastructure or complexity in much the same way as you receive Netflix today. Just a straightforward subscription-based model with no additional items that need to be shipped or installed or maintained on premise. A true cloud SaaS-based solution. Today, we are focusing specifically on the protection of Microsoft 365. We have seen a vast increase of users within Microsoft 365, especially through this pandemic, where organizations fought for a way to be able to have their users still access data whilst out of the office on lockdown. Because of that growth, organizations probably weren't aware that the physical data protection that Microsoft offers for Microsoft 365 environments is very much based on a recycle bin mentality, not a long-term backup of historic data points for users and or SharePoint or Teams. That can make a bit of a problem for an organization if they get infected by ransomware. User recovery is very much user driven, not something the organization can drive themselves. But also having to go back to all versions of data at a specific point in time is very problematic with Microsoft 365. And for compliance purposes, if you need to keep copies of your data for 7 years, you are not getting that from a recycle bin mentality within Microsoft 365. So businesses are turning to third-party solutions that provide the ability to take snapshot-based backup and retain it for long periods of time, for ransomware or malware mitigation and for compliance purposes. And of course, to ease the ability of recovering this data should a ransomware or malware attack affect that environment. Within the data for Microsoft 365, we have the ability to do legal hold and e-discovery, as I've covered earlier. Automated compliance, checking for content of data against sensitive data types that a customer has predetermined they don't want or they want to be alerted to. The ability to perform federated search, to be able to search by file name or folder across all data that is held within the system, no matter where it is located. And the ability to provide straightforward reporting. I'm just going to check whether there are any questions from the attendees here before I go forward and try and give a very brief overview of what the product looks and feels like. I'm just looking, I see nothing at the moment.
No, nothing in the
so
chat.
far.
I don't know, maybe, yeah, because it's not possible to speak, to see if someone has maybe some questions about this part.
Oh.
But yeah, you could put the questions in the chat and we look at the end, then after the demo.
Sure. Okay, there's still nothing, so I will carry on. I hope I haven't sent everyone to sleep. I hope you are still awake and you are hearing me.
Perfectly.
So I'm bringing up the Power Protect backup service. This is the Power Protect backup service in the cloud. This is the central point of access for any organization to view their protection status across all of the products that we are protecting for that customer. Within the home page here, the dashboard, I'm able to see how many data sources I'm protecting, how much data I'm protecting in the system, and I can even see how much data I am protecting across various elements within the service. Over time, I'm able to see I did 90 successful backups in the last 24 hours. This system, it's very new. They'll only release this at the beginning of the week, has not made any recoveries yet, but I would see a total amount of restores since I started this service. I can see compliance policies as well as the number of legal hold cases I've set up on the system. I'm able to see across all of my servers and endpoint devices how much my data has grown over the last 90 days. Again, because this service did not start within the, or has started within the last 90 days, I'm seeing a 1000% increase in my data protection over 90 days. I'm also able to see where my data is being stored within the system. Being AWS driven, every customer has a choice of where they are storing their data. They can pick one location, and in Europe, we have Paris, Frankfurt, Stockholm, Ireland. Outside of Europe, we have the UK, because we're not officially in Europe anymore. I do apologize for that. It wasn't my decision. But within any of those storage locations, the system, the Power Protect backup service, will copy at least 3 copies of data, because each region that a customer chooses is at least 3 availability zones within that region. So if you have a customer that needs to keep the data in Europe, they can do that very easily. They just need one data center location turned on. They direct their backups there. If they are a larger organization that maybe has data in the UK that has to stay in the UK, and data in America that needs to stay in America, we can easily turn on those storage regions as well. This service only has one storage in America, but I can see when I hover over, I'm able to see how much endpoint and SaaS-based data there is and how much hybrid workload server-based data is stored in that location. As I say, today we're talking very much around the Microsoft 365. So I'm going to click on the endpoint service, and I will get my own end user window, allowing me to show exactly how well protected we are at this precise moment in time. So we're able to see how many active users I have out of the provisioning, the license provisioning that we've provided. We have the ability to preserve users if they've left organizations, which keeps their data and still allows us to use it for search purposes, even if they are no longer active in the system. I can see how much data is being protected, as well as user profiles, which are groups of rules that determine what does happen to each group of users. What we're backing up, what we're not backing up, the frequency, and how long we're retaining data for. I can see how well protected I am. I've got 45 successful backups. That's 94% of my estate. 3 users haven't yet completed their first backup, which makes up the remaining 100%. I've got no errors, no failures within this system. I'm able to see for physical devices how many physical devices I have enabled, whether they are Windows, Mac or Linux, Android or iOS. For Microsoft 365, I have a dashboard showing my Exchange users, my OneDrive users, the amount of SharePoint sites and teams that are protected. I'll go back into the full Microsoft 365 dashboard shortly. But we also have the ability for Google Workspace, for Gmail, Google Drive and shared drives. We provide the customer information on how much data has been transferred, how much data is retained in the system over time. We also have the ability for customers to track and trace their physical devices. So we can see whereabouts physical devices are globally dispersed, as well as the ability to see anything that's happening live, information on legal hold and compliance, and information on data distribution, whether that be by file type, by user profile, or indeed by data source, so that we can fully understand where our data is and what it is that's making up our data footprint. For data sources, I'm going to go into my Microsoft 365, where I get my own detailed dashboard related to Office 365 data that has been protected by the system. All a customer needs to do is to configure our solution with their own tenant. They do that by being redirected to their Microsoft login and logging in with a global admin username and password. They agree to the data being read by the PowerProtect backup service, and we then could go off and start creating users and protecting SharePoint and Teams sites. Here I'm able to see again the elements, exactly how much data I've got protected in each location, and I get a graph showing me exactly how my data is being used within the Microsoft 365 system. If I was to look at SharePoint, I discover all of the SharePoint sites that exist within this tenant. I can automatically configure any new sites that are created to automatically be protected. And if I was going off to find a site that I wanted to recover data from, If I went through to the marketing department here, in fact, I'll do the brand. It's got a bit more data in it. I'm able to see when the last time we completed a backup, how much my data has grown and changed over time within this site, as well as information of how frequently I'm backing up and how much retention I am keeping from those sites. If I was to go to backups here, I would then be able to see the content of this site as per the last backup that was completed. If I wanted to go back to previous points in time, I could go back to snapshots in the last 7 days or earlier. So I could spin the clock back to the 10th of May and see exactly what data existed within this site at that point in time. Okay, if I went and looked official letterhead, I could choose to restore an individual file or an entire subset of files back to the same site, or if I was recovering the site as a whole, I can restore that to a different or a copied site. I also have the ability to download that data directly to as an add into a zipped folder. Even though this backup was the 10th of May, I already have the brand zip with the letterhead folder and the letterhead contained. Exactly the same applies for Teams. We're able to see all of our team sites that are available. We're identifying how many channels appear in those teams. And within a team with multiple channels, I'm able to see exactly data distribution between conversations, files, and team metadata, the total consumption of all of the elements of those private channels that are there. And from a backups and a recovery perspective, I'm able to see all of the channels, whether they're full public channels or private channels within that team site. For physical users, I can go in and look at all of my users that have been configured for Exchange Online protection. All of these users, for all of these users, I can see the last backup date, the amount of data that has been backed up, and the last status. I can do exactly the same for OneDrive as well. Okay. If I'm restoring data for any of my users, I can select a user. Let me pick John Madden here. Here is my user account. This particular user is protecting Exchange Online and OneDrive. Within the SaaS applications, I can see how much data is protected against each of the elements. As an administrator, if I wanted to restore data for the user, I can restore, select Exchange Online, and here I can see the mails folder as of the last backup time, which was May the 24th at 1817. I can even see the emails that existed within this user's account at this point in time. If I wanted to spin the clock back, again, let's do it to the 11th of May. Here is the mails folder at the 11th of May. Here are the emails that existed in that mailbox at that point in time. I could select files and restore these files to the same user account in the same or a different location. Or I can restore these emails to a different user's account. So if this user had gone sick and Alex, his boss, needed a copy of those emails, I can restore these emails into a restore folder within that user's mailbox as well. As an administrator, I can download, and I can download in PST, archive, or MBOX format. Again, for this demonstration purpose, I will do it to archive, download those emails, and you'll see at the foot of my page, here is a zip file being created. Inside that zip file for John Madden, I see the date timestamp that the backup was taken. I see the mails folder, the inbox, and the 3 emails that I've just recovered from that user's account. Very, very easy, very quick, and very much like Netflix, because the system is easy to use, easy to see, easy to administrate, and with no maintenance needed. It's a set it up and allow it to run. Justin, we've had a question come in, so just bear with me whilst I read that question out. Which security and/or permissions are possible? For instance, can we configure people to be able to perform mail restore or not? Mail is often seen as private. Absolutely, Stephen. Yes, I am demonstrating to you as a God administrator today. We have the ability for organizations to create different administrators with different access rights. We can have view-only administrators. We can have administrators that don't see data at all, just see storage and storage reports. So there is full granular access rights as to what administrators can do. Okay. I'm just trying to demonstrate what the system is capable of doing, so you get an understanding of how it is. But again, reach out to Tech Data or Dell. We have full documentation that you can read on specific elements. But yes, security not only of our service, but also security of the mind of the customer is at the forefront of everything we do, making sure we can reduce down the access to bare minimum levels for specific users within an organization. Users can also do their own recovery of data. There is a user-based web interface that a user can log into if they are given the rights to be able to do so. Just quickly want to focus in on some other elements. Everything that a user or an administrator does is audited within the system. So from an admin perspective, if I was looking at my admin audit trail, I can see that Martin Edwards downloaded John Madden's data. I can see any changes that have been made on compliance policies and so on and so forth. So everything that people are doing can be tracked, and these are non-editable audit trails. From a data loss prevention perspective, physical devices can be traced to see where they are located. If I went into this phone account, I can see exactly where in the UK this phone was the last time it connected to the service, where I can drill it right the way down almost to house level, even go to satellite view, and I can safely say that is where I am sat right now whilst I'm presenting to you. There has been more work done to my house since I've moved in. I do at least have a garden now rather than just dirt. If this device had been lost or stolen, I could decommission the device, either doing a factory reset or wiping data off of that device, whether that's a phone, a tablet, or a laptop or desktop device. Federated Search allows me to do a file system-based search across all of the data within my environment. If I was to search for the word customer, I could filter down further to constrain my search, but I will be able to now see exactly which files contain the word customer. I can see the location of that, whether that exists in a shared folder. This is a Google shared folder, whether it's on a physical device, these are on the main office machine, or whether it's held in Google Drive for a user within the system. For any of those files, I can see more information of the location. This is on Ed Tune's device. It's in OneDrive. I'm also able to see the hash values of specific files and versions of files. And I can even search based on the hash value of a file as well across my users. For legal hold, placing users within a legal hold, getting the police tape out. I have 2 users here, both of which have 2 data sources. I can preserve that data. Here I'm looking at all of the collected data, but I can go and ring that down to data within a specific range, just deleted data, and expose that data through our WebDAV link or direct download. Compliance all relates to sensitive data. Here I have predefined sensitive data types. I have templates for personally identifiable information, etc. I then create policies, and I've created 2 policies here. One looking for financial data, looking at these users within profiles, looking for credit card numbers. I also have my personal identifiable information one here, looking for NHS numbers and national insurance numbers. Here I have a file violation list showing all of the users that have files that have been picked up. Critical violations are marked with an exclamation. I'm able to see what has been found in what policy, and I, as a user or as an administrator, am able to go and get information of the items that have that have come within. From this data, I can choose to delete data, download data. I can delete data from a data source. I can even delete historic data from snapshots relating to this user's environment as well. I know that's been really, really quick. I can't see any more questions. I'm aware we have around about 6 minutes left on this session. I wanted to stop to allow Marius to finish off presenting regarding the solution. But if you do have any other questions, please do add them in and we will try and address them at the very end of this session. Thank you for your time, everyone.
Thank you, Martin. Thank you again for the great presentation. Yes, so we have like 7 minutes, so I'll try to go faster to the remaining slides. As I said in the start, when we have chosen to add this service to our portfolio, we wanted to have a solution that meets the most exigent needs from our users. So here you can see on these slides the competitive landscape for this solution that we offer. So you see actually the differences between this PowerProtect backup service and the other vendors on the market. I'm going to send you the slides. So actually on the slides where you have a lot of information, there's no problem. You're going to have the time to look yourself. I go to the next slide because this was, let's see here next. Yes. So how are we going to offer actually this service? So the service is split in 3 groups. So we have the SaaS application, we have the endpoints protection, and we have the protection for hybrid workloads. So here again, you can see actually how we split it also in the tiers, for example. So we have the 4 tiers for the SaaS application and endpoints. So we have the entry level for 1 to 500 users. And then you can go from 500 to 5,000. So as you can see, we can go unlimited. That's the cloud. So this is the easiness of this solution. The terms also important. We offer actually, like you see, different terms. We have 1 year, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. So this is pretty easy, and also everything it's prepaid only. So that means that if you're gonna need to protect your SaaS application and you want 1 year prepaid, we can do it. If you say, okay, I want maybe to have the payment spread per month, of course, you know that we have also our Dell Bank, where we can help you to spread the payments. So for every solution that you take from Dell, Dell Financial Services, it's called. Okay, I go to the next slide because I know I have a couple of minutes. Otherwise, I lose the time with the small details on the slides. So here, if you zoom a little bit in for each offering, you can see some things like for the SaaS application, we have 50 gigabytes per user included. So this is the storage. So maybe you ask yourself why we need to specify this. Now, for example, let's take a vendor like let's take FIM, just an example. They offer also protection for Office 365, and you see the price and you think, oh, it's cheap, it looks cheap. But don't forget, you're still gonna need the storage in the cloud. So you're gonna need some storage, and you're gonna pay additional on top on the price that you see it on the front. So in this case, we offer 50 gigabytes per user, and you can put this all together across all users. So you're gonna share it between the users. So if someone it's using only 5, and other one it's using maybe 16, there's no problem because we can take it from each other. So this is also very easy. It's just like the telephone bundle. The same is, of course, also from the endpoints. What is good to see for endpoints, then you can protect unlimited endpoints as long as this fits in the capacity. The preserved users also it's good to see. So this is a great feature to save costs. If a user is being disabled or preserved, how you want to call it, the license will be available to be used by another user. So this is also a good feature. And also good to know that as a standard, we offer 10% preserved user on the top of the total users. So if you buy, for example, for 1,000 users, you're going to have actually 1,000 and 10% on the top is preserved users. So it's again good for the agility. Let's see next slide. Wow. Yeah, so this again a slide with a lot of information. You're gonna find here all the details that you want to know per offering. So I'm gonna send it to you. I'm gonna share it. So you're gonna find yourself whatever you want to know. And let's see here. So this is the last slides. So also it's important to know that you as a partner, you can also sell some maybe additional deployment for the user. So this is coming on top. But what is good to know is that you can increase, of course, the footprint with the Dell solutions for your customers. Of course, you extend also your expertise when it comes to the SaaS solutions. It's good to know that this solution is integrated in our partner program that we have it with Dell. So when you are selling, for example, our storage solutions, in this case, we see this as a storage from a Dell perspective. So you can enjoy also all the programs that you have, like NBI, maybe next business new business incentive, or a competitive swap where you can win like 8% additional back-end rebate. on the top of the standard backend rebate of 3% or 2%, depending on your partner tier. So you can earn also a lot with this solution. I just took a look actually the last days, okay, when we speak about the price, because this is what you also as a partner want to know. This is a very, very low price per users. Just ask through Tech Data, for example, an offer for, I don't know, 500 users for Office 365. And of course, you're going to get also the option for Salesforce and Google Workspace included. And you're going to see how cheap this is. So simple, secure, and cheap. What can I say? Let's go to the Q&A because it's time actually. So I don't know if someone wants to maybe to ask something. I don't know if it's possible with the. Let's see here.
We do not have questions in the questions and answers.
No further questions.
No, so I think the presentation was excellent and explicative.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Marius, and thank you very much, Martin. I think it was very crystal clean, sharp, clean, whatever.
You followed yourself.
Very good presentation, and we will definitely follow up with the attendees. Thank you for helping us with this presentation.
No problem.
Yes.
Thanks for giving us the time to be able to talk about it.
Yes,
You're welcome.
yes, right. Thank you, Martin, again also for helping me in this case.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
With this, I will end the presentation then. Thank you very much.
Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.